Welcome everyone to Dreamcast. My name is Heidi Kupari. I'm the founder and CEO of Dream Tank. It's a youth-led systems change initiative that unleashes imagination to dream and design the future we all want to live in. About 13 years ago, 10 years into my journey as a social entrepreneur and impact investor, I had a vision that the mountain moving leaders in every sector, if you were to listen to the dreams of young people and open the door to collaborate with them, we could have a better world. And we could all move together towards what we want to feel, which is free, authentic, expressed, financially secure, safe. And I'm a mother, and I was inspired by Summer and Cody. And I was in the field of impact investing, going to Davos and all these different places, the White House, UN, convening people to move their money in alignment with the Sustainable Development Goals. And I realized that they are moonshot goals, and the only way we can solve moonshot goals is with the best imaginations on the planet engaged. And so I set out on an experiment with a group of people in Boulder with my kids, and 10 years later, we are here. And you'll hear a lot about this beautiful expression that is really co-created by hundreds of people over the years. And we are very excited to have you here now today. I want to also thank my parents for always believing in my dreams. And I'm very excited that I get to be here with the Brown students. I'm an alumni of Brown University. And since December 13th, I haven't stopped thinking about this, and I've been working around the clock to show up for these students and invite in faculty, city leaders, and you'll hear more about that later, who are all showing up for the young people. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce my co-hosts, Marina Dimas and Rebecca Irby.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the very first Dreamcast. Thank you so much for being here with us and tuning in from all around the world. My name is Marina, and I'm a senior at Brown studying public health and entrepreneurship. Today, I will be co-hosting Dreamcast alongside Heidi, Brown class of 1995, founder and executive director of Dream Tank, and Rebecca Irby, Nobel Peace Prize winner and president of Peak Institute. Before anything else, thank you for choosing to spend this time with us. Whether you're tuning in as a friend, family member, supporter, leader, stakeholder, Brown community member, or you just followed your curiosity here, you have come to the right place. You belong here.
Thank you so much, Marina and Heidi, for such a warm welcome and bringing such beautiful energy into this space. My name is Rebecca Irby. It's such an honor and a pleasure to be here. I'm truly feeling just so grateful to be here in a room full of this culmination of dreams of Dream Tank and of our first Dreamcast. We've been building this for months with our students, and Heidi and I actually just met last September, and it was one of those meetings when your soul finds another human who has been doing the exact same work that you've been doing, but in completely separate spheres. And it was just such an honor to see the work that Heidi's been doing for the last 10 years that really connected to research that I've been doing for 23 years in transformative systems change. And we realized that we were the same coin, just two different sides. She had imagined this and been putting it into practice, and I'd been researching this and also putting it into practice in different arenas, granted. But when we came together, there was just such a magic between what we both knew and have been feeling is the way forward, that it is truly young people, creativity, art and music and expression that is going to change the world, that's going to bring about the world that we all know and can feel deep inside that we want to see birthed and come forth. So that is what we are here to do today. We are just so honored and excited to have this showcase for all of our incredible interns to show you all what they've been working on in just 2 weeks. You are going to be blown away with what they were able to do. So before we jump in, I do want to just give us a little bit of grounding and some Zoom rules. We are going to have an interactive session and broadcast today. So those of you who are lucky enough to get into the Zoom with us, and we thank you so much. There's almost 50 people here in the production studio with us. And we know that there are so many more of you out there watching live. So we have a request for everyone. Everyone is going to be able to participate, even if you're watching live and you're not here with us. So we want to use the chat as our way to communicate with one another. If you have a question or a comment or something is coming up for you, just put it into the chat on whichever platform you are watching on, and our moderators will bring your question into the room and we'll be able to engage with you. For those of you who are here with us in this Zoom room, you have an even more fun option. When we get to these interactive sessions, we're going to ask the Zoom room, the folks here, our audience members, if you would like to come on camera and speak. So I do ask that no one comes off of mute unless you've been said that you're going to speak, right? So we're going to use our digital hands, we're going to raise them, and we're going to call on you when we're ready to have you come up onto the stage and speak and ask your question or give your comment or reflection. So I thank you all for listening to our little housekeeping, and I am just so excited to throw it over to our incredible hostess, Marina, to get us started and kicked off.
Great. Thank you so much, Rebecca. So I want to start by asking a question. What is Dreamcast? Why are we here? During this time we're here together, you'll experience a journey. You'll hear stories from students. You'll see glimpses of prototypes and tools. You'll meet the people behind the work, and you'll feel the thread connecting it all. This is not a traditional pitch. It's not a polished commercial. It's a youth-led broadcast that shares who we are, what we've built, and what we're still becoming. Back to Rebecca.
Thank you, Marina. So today we're framing this whole broadcast in an arc that can be summed up with 3 words: heal, dream, and build. You'll feel the progression across the program, starting with healing, story, grounding, meaning, and community. We're going to be moving into dreaming right after that, which is imagination, possibility, and the what if of it all. And then we will end with and land into our building stage. This is about tools, frameworks, and ways to participate. We're going to be weaving in all of these with a sense of agency and how our young people truly came to this and brought all of themselves to bring this and create this for their community, for Brown University, for Rhode Island, but also for all young people experiencing any moment of experiencing any moment of stress or distress which is unfortunately happening quite often in our world today. So we want to make sure that we are creating a safe space for everyone, and we are going to start with the healing part of that. Off to Marina. Thank you.
We're going to start by sharing a little bit more about how we got here. A few months ago, us Brown students applied for a Careers in the Common Good, or CCG, internship, which we heard about from the Brown Career Center. For folks who might not know, a CCG internship is a 2-week internship where us students get to work on a short-term project with a social enterprise or nonprofit organization. Internships are engaging, intensive, hands-on, and high impact, and they culminate in tangible deliverables. This is the 5th year that Dreamtank has offered Brown students a internship. And this year, 2026, a group of us, 6 in fact, joined Dreamtank to build on past programs, envision a better future, and work to make our dreams a reality. Throughout the past 2 weeks, us students have not just been observers. Rather, we have been co-creators. We've brought our lived experience, skill sets, and questions, and built tangible products with help from family, friends, and mentors. We asked, how do we design systems that protect life, support community, and create pathways for more people to belong?
Thank you, Marina. I do want to honor the students here. Truly, this has been intense for sure. It's 2 weeks. It's been tender. It's been super ambitious. And the way that they've shown up with intelligence, care, and courage is why Dreamtank exists. I also want to take a small moment and give a little bit of a content warning. As we're moving into this space, we are going to be speaking about gun violence, and what's happened on the Brown campus on December 13th. So if there are young children listening, we did want to just take a moment before we move into our next section and let you know that we are going to be talking about gun violence here in America. We do feel, though, we've been hearing from some young people, and what they've told us is that they already talk about this all the time, and that actually having a space where they can hear about solutions would be exciting for them. So we did feel it was necessary for us to give that content warning, but we do also encourage you to listen and to be there with your children listening through this broadcast, and to be there with them and to answer questions. And hopefully this will provide some wonder and curiosity and hope about what's possible when we come together into community. So thank you for that. We are going to move on now to our next section. So why do we dream? What happens with this? I'm going to hand things over to Heidi to get us started and tell us the current dream and vision of Dreamtank. So Heidi, please take it away.
Back in October, we started planning this project with a simple question. After 10 years of doing all of these amazing projects, experiments, unleashing the genius of young people, we decided to ask the question, what would it look like to scale the Dreamtank framework so that youth anywhere could feel agency and create lasting systems change in their communities? We have seen that young people don't lack care. They don't lack will. What they often lack is structure, support, and a pathway from I have a vision to we can build this together. And in fact, I have seen that no matter where young people are in the world, no matter what age they are, their dreams matter and their shared reality matters right now for the world, no matter where you are. And you don't have to grow up to do something you love and to make a difference. And you can vote with your actions, even if you're not 18. And so over the years, we have seen that our work has really lived in the bridge of helping youth move from dreaming to designing to launching, not as a slogan, but as a practice and a protocol. This broadcast is part of a bigger build, a replicable model that communities can use with youth at the center, collaborating in intergenerational teams, and mountain moving people like you to turn imagination into action. Over to Marina.
Thank you, Heidi. I can just feel the excitement in the room and the energy that everyone's bringing to this space. And I'm really excited. And all the things that you just talked about just go to show that this isn't just about what we've worked on the past 2 weeks. It's about the bigger picture and what becomes possible when we treat youth leadership as real leadership, when we trust each other, and when we build systems that are worthy of that trust. So, before we jump in, we want to say a lot of thank yous because this did not come together on its own. First, thank you to our friends and family, a lot of which are in the Zoom, who have supported us throughout this process, encouraged us when others thought we were crazy, and told us we can do anything. To our mentors, professors, and supporters, thank you for saying yes and for trusting us. Thank you to Brown, to the entire community, and especially the alumni and class of 1995. While healing from a recent tragedy, the community has made space for this kind of learning, experimentation, and co-creation. And a huge thank you to Dreamtank's 2 core partners in this project, Peak Institute and Hubcast Media. Your belief, collaboration, and steady support helped make both the lab and this broadcast possible, and we're genuinely grateful to be building alongside you. Thank you to Heidi and Dreamtank for believing in the future of youth leadership and for all the work you've done the past 10 years. To everyone watching live, thank you. Being here is part of what makes this moment real, and we appreciate you showing up. To everyone else who finds this broadcast or clips of it later on, know that you are meant to be here, not just in this room, but on this earth.
Thank you so much, Marina. And I just want to take a moment to really thank the students for showing up so completely in a moment that was very devastating, and just the beauty and grace and commitment that you brought to this project. It's really, truly incredible. So we're going to invite everyone to an invitation. We're going to watch a little video that the students made. So to kick things off, we want you to just notice what we're talking about here, how they built it. It's not just a presentation, it's really a portal into collaboration. So as we move into this section, we want to, again, remind you, we're doing this healing, dreaming, building arc. So we're starting with healing. And for us, this isn't just a theme. It's not just poetic. It truly came from the students, and they showed us and they told us what they wanted and what they needed. And this is a video. And as you watch and listen, don't just listen for what they did. I really want you to lean into and hear and feel how it felt for them to be here. So we're going to show this short video, and then we'll come back and discuss.
We, in the wake of what happened on Saturday, we are doing what we really think that many systems and places could do better, which is to listen to you. Listen to, give a space for you to talk about and process what happened and give you agency to do something.
Hi everyone, I'm Jenny Zhu, and it's my honor to speak here. I want to start by saying thank you all for being here, especially given everything that's happened for the past couple days. I know people are now showing up in very different places, but we're all here, so that's the important thing. I'm from China, actually. Both my parents are Chinese, and I moved to the country at the age of 14.
My Korean name is Yunseo. You can call me Amy. Grown up in Jeju Island, South Korea, not Seoul.
I'm from Tanzania. This is the first time I've been in the States. I was born and raised in Tanzania.
Currently an international student from Rwanda. It was my first time in the US, and I think during my first semester I got somewhat not a very pleasant ending of the semester.
We're still processing, not just emotionally, but also, how we think about safety, security, and what it actually means to return to campus and daily life after that. So one thing Heidi, I, and the Dreamcast team has been talking about for the past day are like how we want to open up the system change lab.
The thing that happened, I'm still processing it. I'm fine, I'm safe, but I feel like so many things happened. One of my friends got shot. He's safe, he's stable right now, but that really meant that was really shocking. And yeah, I'm still processing everything.
One of my friends, someone from my high school actually was in the building where the shooting happened. And we were worried. Everyone who knew I was worried. I tried reaching out to her. We weren't able to reach out to her for about 5 hours because everything she had was left in the building. But fortunately, she's okay. I think she's still trying to process everything that happened. She's shaken because, similar to me, this is the first time she's been in close proximity to a mass shooting or anything of the sort.
And many of my friends were somewhere where they were isolated. Some students were with their friends, but many of them were alone when the thing happened, including myself. I felt like I was really unprotected, and all I could do to feel the sense of control was staying on my phone.
I've never been in shooting drill. I've never been in close proximity to a mass shooting or any of the sort. So I was unprepared, I'd say, but fortunately I was in my room.
Where the stress came from was that pressure to feel like I was updated, and the constant doom scrolling and spreading of misinformations and graphic details that some might have not wanted. That really caused a lot of stress. And Brown did a good job in sending mental health resources a day or two after the incident happened, but I feel like ongoing, it could be something that happens alongside while they're providing physical safety. Just like one sentence that next update will be provided a few minutes later or like specific minutes later, that could reassure students.
Somewhat of a dark history that Rwanda passed through in the 1994, which is just like a generation away. And to many of us, we've like seen our parents heal from it. And at some point when this tragedy happened at Brown, it like got me to think about how that might have been to them. But I also got to realize that once we stick together, there's always like there's always like a future that is brighter.
Hi, Adrian. Thank you so much for being here. So please take it away.
Yeah, so I wanted to prompt Hubcast. We have a pretty slide full of questions or a prompt to kind of have the audience start thinking. So once we have those up, we'll give you guys a chance to read it over, and then we would love to hear just how you guys are feeling in this moment. If you have fears, if you need to be heard, we want to make this live stream a space for us to really heal as a community as we're in our healing segment of our broadcast. We also wonder if you have anything that you need from your community, or what has helped you felt grounded in times of unrest, or what support or safety could look like in practice. And so we really just want to open up the room and allow this to be a place for us as a community to listen to each other and to start kind of building this sense of safety within our own Zoom room, on the live stream, and all of that. So if anyone wants to share, please raise your hand and we will prompt you. And we'll leave this up for a bit and we'll move on as soon as engagement slows down.
And to raise your digital hand, you would go to the toolbar and find the reaction tab, and then raise your digital hand if you would like to come onto the main stage and engage with us. We'd love to hear from you. So to get things started, I'm going to read a comment that someone left into the chat for us. And then hopefully some of the other folks in the room will feel encouraged and able to also share with us. So this comes from our good friend Charles. He says, if you resonate with and want to support this amazing initiative being undertaken by these 6 inspiring creative Brown University students with assistance from Dream Tank, please join me in supporting the GoFundMe. Oh, thank you, Charles. So he says, as a former emergency service responder and as a manager of disaster release operations for FEMA, I'm deeply impressed with how the students utilize the Systems Change Lab to pivot from a terrible tragedy to co-creating positive solutions that other institutions and communities can benefit from in the future. Congratulations and thank you for your service. So do we have anyone in the room who wants to read this off for yourself? Yeah.
Another chat entry I'll read. It's from Mariana. She says that she's feeling a sense of sadness and fear, but also a sense of optimism watching all of these young adults willing to face the issues, be vulnerable, and find community and solutions. Thank you for that, Mariana. I feel the exact same way. Being in this group and on this project has really instilled a sense of agency in me, and I know that was the same for all of the other students as well.
Any other thoughts or comments that folks would like to share?
I see Izzy Holzman. She raised her hand. Izzy, we are going to ask you to unmute.
Hi, Izzy.
I just wanted to piggyback off that last comment. I've been watching with some of my friends, and we all feel the similar feeling of a sense of hope, even though there's a lot of sadness going on right now. Watching this broadcast makes me feel hopeful that there are a lot of change makers that are initiating big progress in our world right now and trying to make the world a better place. And that seems what this is all about, is just trying to make the world a better place. So I'm feeling hopeful.
Thank you, Izzy. And thank you guys for tuning in. I love you. We have some more stuff coming up in the chat. I will read off. Dano, who's been a big part of this project, a huge mentor for us, says that he was meeting his 2 best friends yesterday, and they had long talks into the night and tea, and they shared so rawly and real about their life situations, their emotions, and thoughts that were alive within them. And without judging them, and it was just a very safe space, and it was super incredible and grounding for Dano. Community connection, the ability to share real and raw things, that's what Dano's sitting in his soul, and he feels like it's very important. Thank you, Dano. All of your advice throughout this 2-week project has been so helpful. Eliza, another one of our mentors, says that she has a deep sense of arriving at coherence. Agree. Kenzie, my sister, says that she's just so inspired by the work that we all are doing, and it's amazing to see us putting this love into the world. Thank you, Kenzie. And Jacqueline says that she really admires her fellow students for continuing to speak about this. It makes her and many others feel seen and supported. Thank you, Jacqueline. We are so glad that this is helping you feel supported and seen. That is the huge, huge, huge goal of this broadcast today, building that sense of community and intimacy with all of the people that we care about around the world. Let me check the chat. All right, I think that is all we have in the chat now. If no one else wants to share, I think we can move on. We will be introducing Jenny Zhu, one of the interns, and she'll be up next talking about her safety app.
Hi everyone, I'm Jenny Zhu. I'm a first year at Brown University, and it's my honor to speak today. After the incidents, we kind of shift focus. I kind of came up with this idea. So what I've been working on recently comes from thinking about how information actually moves during campus emergencies. So what me and my friend kept noticing is that, in a lot of situations, students are aware that something is happening, usually faster than like the official channels do. And that awareness spreads very quickly among students. But the challenge is that the way student communication in those moments isn't something that the university can really use. It's fast, but it's also fragmented and it's unverified. So at the same time, administrations are like constrained. They can't act on unverified reports, and they shouldn't, right? And there are real concern about liabilities and privacy and all those when official responses happen. So what you end up with is a lack of information, but a gap in how information can move from students to official in real time. So this gap is what this project's trying to explore. And rather than creating a new emergency system or replacing anything that already exists, my idea here is to introduce a way for universities to gather early observation or to know what's happening during emergencies. And the system has like student reports and turns them into confident weighing signals. And this also is in a separate app. We really want to design to be an add-on feature inside the official Brown University app, so that students already log in with their same credential they already do, so that all the reports are verified. And I'm gonna share my screen and show you guys what me and my friend has been working on for the past couple days. So can you all see my screen now? Great,
yes,
amazing.
we can.
So this is the hub that I built it. So you can see here's the report form that you can submit, incident type, and the location. The app will automatically track your location. And then here you can do a description. For example, my friend need help, maybe like accident, and then confidence level you can do whether it's high. Well, my friend need help, it's pretty high, so submit form, and then you can see it in the history. And then there's also a live map feature where you can track like what's going on in school and all that. And then also I linked in alerts and some service link, for example, campus police and all those stuff. The back end, I haven't developed it fully, but it will be coming up within the next couple weeks, and we're still trying to get in touch with the Brown, campus safety, seeing if we can plug this in as a feature of the app. But yeah, that's it.
Hey, Jenny, so amazing.
Thank you.
Dream Tank is imaginative, exciting, creative, awesome. Dream Tank is hard working, creative, awesome. Dream Tank is hard working.
Well, it really started because I'm a mother who wanted to make the world better for her kids. Well, it really started because I'm a mother who wanted to make the world better for her kids. If your own world is create a sustainable world, and that includes if your own world is not sustainable. And that being connected with them and giving them healthy ways of looking at the world, creative ways. It all came to me. I thought of the Sustainable Development Goals. It all came to me. Every country in the world agreed on these being a goal. The Sustainable Development Goals. And I thought these are moonshot goals. No poverty is a moonshot goal. And I thought these are moonshot goals. You need every sector working together. No poverty is a moonshot goal. Working together. Every sector working together. You need everyone
jazz music.
Working together.
Plays a different
to me,
instrument,
collective impact is
part,
like
but ultimately
jazz
it comes
music.
together
Everyone plays a different
because we listen
instrument,
to
plays a different part, but
What
ultimately
is going
it
to be
comes
the
together
thing
because
that
we
gets
listen
us
to
to
each
drop our walls
What
and
is going to be
realize
the thing
that
gets us to
we
drop
can
our
do
walls
something
and
differently.
realize
We can dream up a
that
different future.
we can do something differently. We can dream up a different future.
That the world only when we acknowledge any other way that we are able to create change.
What would motivate us, inspire us? Where are we going to get these brilliant ideas?
What would motivate us,
Where are we going to
inspire
get
us? Where are we going to get these brilliant
for
ideas?
everyone to
Where
say,
are we going to get
we need
this
to do something
will
differently?
for
And it came to
everyone
me,
to
children.
say, we need to do something
Children.
differently? And it
They
came to
are
me, children.
literally our future. And why
Children.
not invite them
They
into the
are
room
literally
when we're
our
creating
future.
it?
And why not invite them into the room?
I've always
when
thought
we're
about
creating it?
how do you get young people engaged? How do you keep them
I've always thought about
engaged?
how do you
get young
use
people
their
engaged
brilliance
to
to
change
how
the
do you
world?
keep them
And
engaged?
dream tank
How
and
do
dream
you
tanking
use their
is
brilliance
one
to
of the
change the
ways to
world?
do it.
And
We
dream
set off on an
tank and
experiment
dream
that year,
tanking is
2016.
one of the ways to do it.
And we got
set
the
off
name
on an
Dream
experiment
Tank,
that year,
and
2016.
I started it with a young woman, Ashley,
And we got the
who was
name
25
Dream
and had
Tank,
been in
and
education
I started
school
it
at
with a
CU.
young woman, Ashley, who was 25
10 years
and
later,
had been in education
3
school at CU.
different laws have been
10 years later,
changed.
3
Young
different
people
laws
have legalized
have been
entrepreneurship
changed.
for minors.
Young
have
people have
protected
legalized
the environment through
entrepreneurship
an owl
for
preserve,
minors,
and
have
have also
protected,
helped ban
the
single-use
environment
plastics
through an
in
owl
Boulder
preserve,
and help remove
and
the
have
law at
also
the
helped
state
ban
level.
single-use plastics in
It's
Boulder and
young
help
people,
remove the
and
law
it
at
really
the state
evolved
level.
from just children into youth.
young people, and it
so the
really
ages
evolved
are
from just
6
children
through
into
28.
youth.
Have
And
brought
so
young
the ages
people
are
to
6
Davos, to
through
the White House,
28.
to
Have brought
the
young
UN,
people to
and
Davos,
to a lot
to
of
the
different
White House,
venues where we
to
get them
the
a seat
UN,
at the table.
and to a lot of
And
different
we have them be
venues where we
heard.
get
And not
them
only
a seat
that,
at the
we've
table.
created all these
And we
accelerator
have them
programs
heard.
and
And
thinking
not only that,
programs and
we've
design
created all
challenges
these
and
accelerator
hackathons
programs
where
and
young
thinking
people have come up
programs
with
and design
brilliant
challenges
ideas
and
that literally
hackathons
can change the
where
world.
young people have come up with brilliant ideas
I've got an
that
idea.
really can change
Yeah?
the
What's
world.
your idea?
Dream Tank
I've
Kenya
got an
just
idea.
launched our very
Yeah?
first
What's your
international
idea?
location.
Dream Tank Kenya just launched our very first international location.
Our mission as Dream Tank Kenya is to equip Kenyan youths with the right skills that will help them develop their ideas into real solutions that will help them solve real problems in our nation today. We do this by mentorship, innovation, and creativity. We believe that when we equip this youth with these right skills, it will help them develop their projects that will help them solve things like mental health, education, and climate change, all these which align with the UN SDGs. As Dream Tank Kenya, we see ourselves as being part of a global mission that connects youths here at Kenya to have innovations, to also have scalable actions that can be able to be amplified here locally and also internationally. And this bridges all the way from creativity, from our youths, from our communities, and this connects us and puts our youths there to also have opportunities on how they can globally partner with their innovations and ideas that will be able to change our communities. We are not just talking about the future, we are building it with our team, we are building it with our youths to make sure that our communities have a sustainable impact, programs that can be able to sustain them and also change our society.
Tomorrow, but the leaders of today, and deserve to be in the room while we plan for our future.
Dream Tank's goal is to inspire and activate young visionaries to innovate solutions for a better future. We do this through our unique programs, mentorships, and global partnerships by connecting youth with top decision makers, allowing their voices to influence key global decision makers, allowing their voices to influence key global decisions across the world.
And it's evolving, it's a living field. But it's really about and it's evolving. It's a living field, or anyone but in it's your really sector. About no matter what you do, movers or if you're a parent or not a parent, sector, no matter your what sector, you do, in your business, if you're a parent or not a parent, about in your sector, in your business, the table. Think about bringing young people to the table. I want to express my deep gratitude for you watching. I want to express my deep for you allowing yourself to be inspired, and your love and your support. For you allowing yourself to be inspired is going to change the world. Love and your support is going to change the world.
We want to welcome to the stage Laura Weinberg, Mayor Laura Weinberg, and Heidi Kapari to help welcome in this next session. So, Laura, we're so grateful that you are here with us. Thank you so much for being here.
Well, I'm so excited you're here with me, Laura. Some of the people here know, all of the Winterns here know that we just reconnected at our 30th reunion at Brown last May. And it was really fun to have that moment. It felt like kismet, this synchronicity moment. And it was so fun running into everyone, doing amazing things. Class of 95 has really showed up. And when I was talking to you and we got to reconnect, and I was just asking, where do you live? Golden? I live in Boulder. That's so close. And I was like, what are you up to? Because we had a similar major. And she said, I'm the mayor. I said, oh my goodness. I didn't recognize her married name when I saw the mayor of Golden all these years. And I said, wow, well, what do you love about being mayor? And she shared with me that she loves listening to people and being a systems thinker. And I thought, this is a moment in time. And I had this vision and we shared it together. And she challenged me to do a 3-city pilot with all of this. And she's going to talk about her experience and what she was looking for.
Yeah, for sure. Just wanted to start by saying, I now encourage everybody that I talk to go back to their reunions if they have the opportunity. What really struck me at our reunion this year was both reconnecting with people I hadn't seen in a long time, like Heidi, but also realizing that regardless of the direction that people have taken in their lives and in their careers, that spark that originally drew us to Brown as 18-year-olds still exists today. Finding that spark and Heidi and so many other alums who that spark to build community, to change systems and to really work to build a brighter future. Finding that spark in others was an incredible moment, and it's been great to continue that conversation, work with Heidi and Dream Tank and this group of students in the Systems Change Lab. I, want to just talk a little bit about youth involvement and in my role as a mayor. So I'm now in my 7th year as the mayor of Golden, and not so much when I started in 2020 during right before COVID started. But in the last few years, I've really been thinking a lot about how youth can be involved in cities. And there are many different types of youth programs. Some of the models are focused on civic engagement of youth, teaching them about their city government and soliciting input on current projects in cities. There are also summer internship programs, which are great for students for career exploration. And here in our county, we have a youth leadership program that teaches youth about the community, about community building, and also what it means to be a leader. Those are all great programs and models, but I was envisioning something more. So, Dream Tank and this program talks about what's your dream. And so what I envisioned, my dream for my city has really been a program that allows youth in our community and at our university here in Golden to tangibly contribute to the future of the city, to really find ways for them to have meaningful involvement, identify new systems, new pathways, ways of doing things that will help us achieve our bold goals of what are we going to be, who are we going to be as a city 10, 20, 30 years down the road. So one of the examples I'll give you about that is I have been working, even before I became mayor, as a city councilor, working on the housing challenges that we have, not just here in Golden, but across the state of Colorado. And that work has been with incredible housing partners, other governments, both here locally in the county, as well as statewide and nationally as well, through the National League of Cities. And I always stop to consider, in this work that we are doing, are we looking for solutions within the confines of the systems that currently exist, or within the structures that currently are in place? Because we are limited perhaps in our thinking as people who've been doing this work for a long time. And that dream I have, and what I think is possible, is that a team or teams of youth could approach this current challenge that we have and be part of co-designing the type of community, the type of places that they want to live 20 years from now. So while they might be young people today, maybe they're in school today, maybe they're at Colorado School of Mines here in Golden, they can be part of the designers of that future that will help us build a better future when we look at the very serious challenges of today around housing. So those are some of the things that I have been excited to think about in partnering with Dream Tank and the Systems Change Lab. I will share with you, I know you haven't seen it yet, but please stay tuned, because the Systems Change Lab and the work of these interns has truly exceeded all my expectations. They have created a blueprint that I think can be leveraged here in Golden, in my city, as well as really any city, a blueprint to develop a program, create the structure so that youth can be engaged in ways that actually will create actionable results in communities anywhere. I don't know where Heidi went, so I'm just going to keep talking until she interrupts me.
I'm here. I'm right
Okay,
here.
Heidi.
I'm right here. Yes, thank you. Yes, and we talked about, the connection between Brown that we both have, so Providence, right? And then Boulder and Golden, and we've been here as our headquarters virtually and done a lot of the programs in different spaces. And we've developed something that can be adopted by anyone. And we wanted to have deeper engagement in physical pilot cities to start with. And we do have, you saw Dream Tank Kenya, who launched later in 2025, which was a result of last year's Brown Winternship. So every year we build on this. And so what we recognized is that we wanted to engage the mayors of all of the cities. And so Laura graciously reached out to the mayor of Boulder and helped us access and reach out to the mayor of Providence, both who responded within a day. And we're super excited about hearing young people's ideas and exploring having a systems lab in their city. So thank you for standing with us, because this dream that you had and we're actually doing in your city was a dream that I've been developing with all of these people, and now it's a shared dream. It is time for imagination and full civic participation. And I believe that cities can also feel more resilient and safe when their kids have something productive to do. One of the things that we did during COVID was we actually had an online hackathon, which was a cohort of students who designed an online hackathon So they'd have something positive to do from home when their parents and everyone were running around worrying about protecting their family and staying safe. And this is the next phase of that now. And we really get to have fun together. And a lot of this is about imagination and sparking the inner dreamer in every one of us. In every one of us, we had a dream when we were young. We may or may not be doing it. And we may have had a dream recently that's coming true. This is the time that we really come together. And it's about multi-stakeholder collaboration and problem solving. It's not about polarization and finger pointing whatsoever. It's giving young people the ability to see what we haven't seen because we've been living in the system. So one of my favorite Einstein quotes is, "You can't change a system using the same thinking that created it."
And I just want to close with thanks, Heidi. It's been great working together, and I'm excited for you all to see the students present next. But one of the things I want to just share is, I recognize in my community and everywhere that many young adults, including my own daughters who are in college now, really feel that the current systems are not working for them. And it is a frustrating feeling when you don't have agency and you don't know how you can actively participate to change those systems. And what I want to say to the students in this program that I've been working with, and all the other students on this broadcast now, you really have the opportunity right now, today, to change the way things have always been done, to be able to design the systems that you want for the future. And that I know that personally, myself and many, many others are very excited to mentor, to support, to encourage you all along the way, because we recognize that there are a better way to do things and that you are going to have brilliant ideas, and we want to help you get there. So thank you. It's been great to be a part of this broadcast, and looking forward to seeing the students next.
Yes, so we are going to have Gavin and Amy join us on the stage to go through the hero's journey. Thank you so much, Heidi and Mayor Laura Weinberg, for those inspiring words. And we're so excited to welcome Amy and Gavin to the stage to discuss the hero's journey.
Thank you, Rebecca, for introducing this moment. And I want us to really begin the hero's journey by thinking about what is dreaming. And it's a question I really ask everyone. I would love to have your comments in the chat section, but let me share what dreaming is to me and to all of us. Dreaming is often misunderstood as something abstract and unrealistic, but really, to dream is to name what feels missing, what feels unjust or unfinished. It's the moment when someone senses that the world as it is does not fully reflect the world as it could be. And for many young people today, that gap is really deeply felt. And oftentimes, it's when communications break down. They feel this when trust erodes, when systems move around them without fully understanding what they are experiencing. And when these systems feel distant or unresponsive, dreaming can really feel naive and even times pointless. And yet dreaming is exactly where this change we all want begins. In the dream phase, the intentional space is really created for the youth to really slow down and imagine. And we want them to imagine not for solutions, but for possibilities. And in fact, if we all look in all heroes' journeys, the story doesn't really start with an action. It starts with a calling. And this is why this framing that we bring really matters and resonates deeply. Whether it's Star Wars, whether it's Stranger Things, or stories many of us grew up watching, and I dare even say rewatching and rewatching again, they all begin this same way. A young person feels a pull that something isn't right. They don't have all the answers, and they're often unsure. They're underestimated and oftentimes overwhelmed. And so let me welcome really Amy to continue to move us throughout this hero's journey. Thank you.
Thank you, Gavin. So this is the challenge. While youth are dreaming and feeling that call, they are often left standing at the threshold. They are invited to speak, but they're not always equipped to act. They're asked for opinions, but they're not given pathways. They're encouraged to dream, but they're rarely shown how dreams move forward. As a result, those dreams often dissipate because they don't see how their dreams can meaningfully enter systems that shape real outcomes. This is the gap between dreaming and doing. And this is where our work begins. First, we create space, an intentional space where young people imagine what feels missing, what feels possible, and what kind of future they want to be responsible for shaping. Second, we provide tools that help turn vision into action, mentors and processes and frameworks that allow young people to move from this is what I wish to this is what I can design, test, and build. And finally, we enable change, not by replacing institutions, but by helping youth engage with them more effectively. Through this, we connect dreamers to tangible tools for change, so dreams don't end at expression, but move towards action. Thank you.
My name is Sylvester, and I'm going to introduce to you the Heal, Dream, Build framework, a structured way for young people and communities to respond to crisis with care, clarity, and action. This framework emerged in the aftermath of the gun violence that occurred on December 13th, 2025 at Brown University. In the days that followed, students, alumni, parents, and experts across disciplines came together to talk, reflect, and process what had happened. What became clear through these conversations was the broader need. Communities often lack a shared, thoughtful structure for responding to crisis and disruption. The Heal, Dream, Build framework was created to meet that need. While it is rooted in this specific moment, it is intentionally designed to be replicable across different campuses, cities, and contexts. As we developed this framework during the sprint, we had the opportunity to learn from other cities and experts who have lived through crisis and designed for healing. One of the most impactful conversations was with Kevin Brani, a Brown alum and the founding director of the Boulder Strong Research Center, which was created in response to the 2021 King Soopers mass shooting in Boulder, Colorado. Kevin helped us understand that healing is not passive. Community events, visible change, and opportunities for agency accelerate recovery. He also shared that if communities don't pause, if they rush back to business as usual without spaces for healing, the trauma can compound. That's why Heal, Dream, Build is more than a framework. It's a signal to pause, to act with care, and to co-create something new. At its core, the goal of Heal, Dream, Build is to help youth develop both individual and collective resilience. The process leads to a tangible, civic, or community-focused outcome, such as a prototype, a service, or a structured proposal within a short and defined timeframe. What makes it powerful is that it follows a repeatable sequence: heal, then dream, then build. So why does this framework matter? Heal, Dream, Build is a crisis response model that provides a structured yet empathetic pathway to recovery and resilient solutions. It's not a separate system, but rather a faster, crisis-oriented mode of Dream Tank's existing Dream Design Launch protocol. In moments of crisis, priorities shift toward healing, coordination, and immediate action. This matters because crises are often managed through speculation, misinformation, or purely top-down decisions. Heal, Dream, Build offers an alternative, one that centers youth voice without overburdening youth or young people emotionally. It also means cities and campuses are not trying to invent response systems in middle of a crisis. Trust, roles, and pathways already exist. As a result, there is a continuous feedback loop from youth to institutions, allowing responses that are guided by care, clarity, and speed, not urgency alone. Here's how the framework works. It begins with a crisis or disruption. The first phase is heal, which takes place over 48 to 72 hours. This phase prioritizes psychological safety, community gathering, and rapid listening. It creates trauma-informed spaces for people to process, share, and identify immediate needs. Next is Dream. This is a collective future visioning phase where young people reimagine a more resilient future. They articulate their needs and co-design solutions that address both the present crisis and future preventions. As Kevin shared, empowerment is part of healing. When youth feel agency, when they're invited to take part in imagining what comes next, healing accelerates. The final phase is build. This focuses on rapid prototyping and action. Stakeholders work together to develop and implement tangible solutions, using youth insights to create interventions that can be deployed quickly and improved through learning. And when communities don't make space for this, when there's no visible sign that something has changed, trauma deepens. Build ensures there is a visible response grounded in lived experiences and collective design. Together, Heal, Dream, Build transforms a moment of disruption into opportunities for resilience, connection, and meaningful action. Thank you all for joining us today, and I'm hoping that you gained something from this and you keep engaging with Dream Tech. Thank you.
Hi, everyone, and thank you, Sylvester, for presenting on the Heal, Dream, Build framework. We're going to take a quick little presentation break and share a video of the Dream Tank community. We only had 2 weeks, but we asked a couple of friends, family members, community members to share their dreams, their hopes, their fears. And really, we're just hoping to present a montage of the dreamers because all of us have the potential to change the world, and we just have to be able to dream it. So up next will be a little view into our Dream Tank friends and family.
It's one where every being living, regardless of the species, has enough for what they need to thrive. Food, water, love, shelter, community, caring.
A dream I have for kids my age is that they're all treated fairly and no one is bullied or disincluded.
For everybody to join their local community organizational groups.
I want everyone to be kind and for there to be peace and for there to be no hatred and for everyone to just be able to do what they want.
I've always had a dream that all the bodies, all the water bodies, all the bodies of water are cleaned up and allowed to live in original purity and flow. So that's a big dream of mine and still working on it.
A world I'd like to live in when I grow up is a world where everyone is treated fairly and everyone's kind and no one is judged by their cover and everyone is just happy and in their place.
I think that the most basic needs that everybody has the right to have met is food, water, shelter, access to medical care, and access to hygiene care. And that's going to look different for every single person. So I definitely think that prioritizing equity over equality when approaching things like this is very important.
Water, first and foremost. Without water, there is no life. So we do need water, every single one of us, no matter what the species. If that basic, fundamental, core, essential source, need for source water is sufficient, then all else will fall into better balance fairly organically.
I think everybody needs food, housing, shelter, water, and health care.
It's a big fear of war, fear of nuclear disaster, climate disaster, the host of worries that the youth have to face today are staggering.
Which, in the next 10 years, there's pivotal decisions that we need to make in terms of our environment in order to stop 1.5 degrees Celsius increase.
So something that lights me up and also makes me feel better when I'm worried about the world is directly engaging with my community through mutual aid. So this could be through things like volunteering at a homeless shelter, engaging in a community food drive, a community clothes drive, a community crowdfund for people that are experiencing emergencies, just directly engaging with people who are the most affected by the issues that arise in our society and giving them immediate help that they need.
Number one, how does the condition of our culture, community, environment shape what it means to be a young person? When I was young, we hid under the desks in elementary school, Miss Carnell's room, but she made it fun, so we didn't have any sense that it was really dangerous. It was a joke to be sitting under the desks because of a possible nuclear bomb. Things were very different when I was a youth than they are today. I can't even imagine really. The degree at which the youth have the very real understanding and training to recognize that their worlds could turn violent at any moment at school. And that fear is always with them, and that having to be aware of where a shooter might be.
And I know that a lot of us are asking big questions. We're looking at the collapse of a system. And I think that currently the global system right now is collapsing because it's in a story of division.
I genuinely think that we need a community that rivals the abilities of these mega corporations, a community that can reach out to as many people the way that a company can.
What if the way we distributed our capacities was towards the collective mutual fulfillment of all, and not private ends of profit?
One small thing I think kids can do to make the world a better place is to just be kind to everyone they meet, and to not gossip, and to be honest and kind to everyone.
Now we get to see where everything unifies in one place. This is where anyone, youth, educators, cities, families, anyone could get started. With the next phase after this is a kind of a working prototype. The next phase will be truly decentralized, where my vision that came through, and many, many who have come together, and Dream Tank Kenya also loves to say all the time, is 1 billion youth, right? But it's not just youth, it's all of us unleashing our dreams. And so we want to know where everyone is. We've imagined having bases of young humans all around the globe. We've had beautiful adventure, futuristic, immersive experiences for young people and fellows. And we wanted to see where everyone's working when we set everybody up. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through what's live right now. And I'm going to start with the globe. This is where you can put yourself on the map, where you have gifts to offer, you have projects you're working on, you have sustainable development goals you're working on. You can go to this page and you can put yourself on the map. And here's how all of these things connect. We have the systems mapping process where we have a little free tool to play with that is not exactly the entire systems mapping process, of course, because that's what we would be doing in our communities and our cities. But we created this beautiful little interactive tool that's based on the Peak Institute methodology of power mapping. And you can put in your core problem statement, the systemic barriers that you think are preventing change, the root causes, and you can just type right in here, and what venture opportunities or solutions do you think could address these causes? And then the power map is where you can start mapping who you know and who you can talk to get started doing all of this. And you can put, who do you need to convince? Are they champion, ally, what influence? And it all gets put here on this map. And then you can download the report and have your little map. And then, of course, we'll be in touch with you because you'll be able to put your information in there and we'll be able to talk to you about what's next. And the other tool that we're really excited about is the globe. So this is the interactive globe. Zoom in. And it's color-coded. Many of you have been talking about the basic needs for survival. And Dream Tank's young people over 10 years have gamified the SDGs. They have divided the Sustainable Development Goals into 4 zones, almost 4 worlds. In fact, we developed a prototype of a metaverse. That was one of my son's projects, along with a cross-sector team of Brain Trust Council, created a prototype of a game where you could go into these different worlds and solve problems and learn about these different aspects of systems change. And so we have created the overlay. So you can submit to the map and you can put your name, your initiative name, your stakeholder type, what kind of person are you, what kind of work do you do, a description about your project, your organization name, and then you can select which sustainable development goals you are addressing. And you can choose more than one. And as soon as you choose it, it will give you your impact zone. And what we have really learned, we've been working with this framework for many years, but what really came into clarity and what the students are working on with the Heal, Dream, Build adaptation is truly grounding us and how important it is to first start with the survival set of sustainable development goals, which is clean water, safety, good health and well-being. And on the map, we have put people that are here in our systems change lab. So you can go to this map, you can see who's here. This is not all complete, but this is our prototype. And so we love thoughts, but it's really fun because when this is filled up, you can start to see who's working on which sustainable development goals, where, and what they have to offer and what they want to receive. And that's how we do collaboration in a global way in a very trusted, secure ecosystem. Now, if you're under 18, your name and your specific locations will not show up here.
Yeah.
So you will also be able to see what Amy, and the students we're all talking about is the blueprint, we have Dreamcast, of course, the fellowship, which they will be presenting a little bit more about. And that is how we do the Dream Cities, is that we run the city systems labs with fellows, with young people. And they will tell you more about that. And then if you want to get involved and start a lab, Lon. There you go. You can start a systems change lab and go through and download a little bit of a blueprint and an outline and request a starter kit. And it tells you more about the systems lab, the cycle, the next steps, and everything you might need to get started. And then if you would like a city partnership, we have here highlighted, we're very, very excited about Golden, Boulder, Nairobi, and Providence. You can support young people and you can fund a pilot. And of course, just reach out if you just want. There's just a contact form. So most of the tools and everything that you're engaging with will lead to a way for you to engage with us specifically to receive this.
And we're going to move on to Amy and Vikram, who for the past 2 weeks have been working on a blueprint for youth-powered cities.
So hi again, everyone. This is Amy.
And I'm Vikram.
We've spent the past few weeks, as you know, inside this unique innovation lab, Dream Tank, where our youth aren't just brainstorming ideas, but we were building blueprints for city transformations.
Today, we're excited to present a vision for how cities can become more youth-powered, not just in theory, but through real structured collaboration.
Next slide, please.
Oops.
This is more than a dream, it's a model. And it starts right here in Providence. And this integrated model is essentially what we're offering cities as a blueprint. One of the most powerful aspects of Dream Tank is our intergenerational collaboration. While the fellows, ages 18 to 25, lead workshops and facilitate systems change dialogues with younger youth, the magic happens when ideas flow both ways. Every age group brings unique insight, and we design spaces for them to co-create together. The first layer is the Youth City Council, made up of local university students and young adults. They will be responsible of producing monthly insight briefs that feed directly into city planning processes. The second layer is the Dream Tank Corp Fellowship, designed for K-12 students. These workshops are led by trained fellows, young adults ages 18 to 25, who act as bridge builders between youth voices and city systems. We've consistently seen that K-12 youth offers some of the most honest and insightful perspectives on belonging, safety, and lived experience. That's why this fellowship centers on interviews, belonging audits, storytelling, and articulating community needs. Participants don't just share their stories, they're challenged to develop early-stage entrepreneur innovations aligned with the Sustainable Development Goals and envision futures where those challenges are addressed. Dream Tank, along with research from Peak Institute, has shown that imagination is a foundational tool in systems transformation. Even the youngest voices have the capacity to shape solutions, economies, and the civic systems around them. Lastly, the third layer is where this becomes truly integrated, which is the City Dream Fellowship. These two groups come together. Young adults use youth-generated insights to conduct research, generate policy recommendations, and draft implementation pathways. In essence, the City Dream Fellowship is an activation engine. Fellows lead quarterly sprints focused on specific SDG impact zones like mental health, food security, or climate resilience, and guides projects from insight to pilot. They meet directly with city and cross-sector leaders to facilitate systems change alongs and turn blueprints from youth-generated ideas into real civic action. These groups and fellowships will utilize the frameworks introduced today. In ordinary times, they would operate through a dream design launch protocol, continuously gathering future visions and lived experience from youth and producing steady, community-driven outputs. In times of crisis, the same system would shift into a faster mode through a heal, dream, build framework, prioritizing healing, coordination, and immediate action. I'll pass this off to Vikram.
Thanks, Amy. And can we go to the next slide, please?
Yeah.
And one more.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. So through 3 meetings with the mayor of Boulder, the mayor of Golden, and the mayor of Providence, we were able to test this model against real-world city needs as something that could actually function inside existing systems. What stood out was how consistently mayors pointed to the same gaps. Many cities already have youth councils or youth programs, but they often struggle with 2 things: sustained feedback loops and readiness when a crisis occurs. Youth voice is present, but it isn't always integrated into decision-making in a way that's timely or actionable. Next slide, please. That's where this model resonated. City leaders specifically highlighted that this framework doesn't need to replace what already exists. Instead, it can be embedded into existing youth councils, campus programs, or city initiatives, creating immediate, structured feedback loops where youth insight is continuously informing city action. Next slide. They also emphasize the intergenerational collaboration of K through 12 students and young adults as something many cities are currently lacking. They saw value in having younger students contribute lived experience and sense-making, while older youth and young adults translate that insight into policy and implementation. Next slide. And that's where this becomes real. This isn't just something that happened at Brown or something that's limited to just one city. The same structure could be operating in your city, on your campus, or within your community. Next slide, please. In the ordinary model, the Dream Design Launch System continuously gathers lived experience through youth interviews, audits, and briefs, and produces steady community outputs that could be policy insights, pilots, system maps, and more. However, in times of crisis, this is when we activate the Heal, Dream, Build framework, not as a new program, but as a faster mode of the same system. The priority would shift to healing, coordination, and immediate action. Next slide, please. So this model is adaptable, tested, and ready to operate in your community. It's a practical blueprint that allows cities to listen in ordinary time and respond with care in moments of crisis, and overall build systems more connected to the people that they serve. Thank you.
Thank you, Vikram. And thanks, Amy, for sharing your guys' work. And just to add on a little bit more to what they were saying, so we started out by sharing these frameworks with Laura, the mayor of Golden, and created various pitch presentations. So we started with just a verbal only pitch of kind of this vision for these systems change labs and these blueprints in her city. And she gave us feedback and we iterated and we created slide decks to then pitch to the mayor of Boulder, Colorado. And after we had pitched to the mayor of Boulder, because Heidi's dream was to do a 3-city pilot in Boulder, Golden, and Providence, I reached out to my professor and he was able to connect us with the mayor of Providence. So we drafted him an email, got a ton of signatures from students, alumni, partners, and sponsors, and he responded to us very quickly. And I believe the next day we had to get ready for our presentation with him. So we put together yet another pitch deck and presented our ideas for what the future of Providence could look like. And so after meeting with these 3 mayors, they all agreed that they would be willing to listen and potentially implement our framework and approach. Once again, this is just a prototype that we as students have created just in the past week or so. And so it's a very rough draft, but we do have real city leaders that have told us that they're able and willing to implement this in the future. So yeah, let's open it up for Q&A. We want to get the audience that is here in this Zoom engaged. These are our biggest cheerleaders and supporters. So please feel free to either raise your hand or you can drop your questions in the chat and I can answer them, or I can toss it over to a member of the team who can also answer them. Margaret, go ahead.
Yes, I'm Adrienne Markey's grandmother, and I'm really very proud of what she's done and what you've all done. It's amazing. Good for you, and great job. I am active with the League of Women Voters, which is also very much involved in working with young people. And I would, I guess, say that my dream for you would be that the young voters, and I encourage everybody to vote. I mean, if you're going to make your dreams come true, you have to vote. But my dream for you would be that all of the young people age 18 to 25 would be the largest proportion of voters in the next election. That would begin to make some of your dreams come true. The league is not we don't support candidates. We're non-political in that respect, but we do support programs and initiatives, and we do work to get people out to vote, and that would be the other part of your program that I would urge you to think about. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Margaret. Thank you for being here. And yeah, Adrienne has been a rock star throughout this process. She's been taking notes in all the meetings, doing all the organizational stuff. I've been like calling her and texting her and saying things a million miles an hour, and she has really worked her butt off to bring this program together and bring Heidi's vision and everyone's vision to life. So thank you so much, Adrienne, and thank you for sharing that too about the next generation coming in and us being kind of the future. And we really just want to bring more love and joy and peace and harmony to the world and connect everyone. And that's what these past 2 weeks have been about. So thank you. Does anyone else have any questions or anything to add?
I see Eliza's hand. Eliza will ask you to unmute.
Thank you. Just really, really want to commend you all here. And I'd like to comment on what you just said. Is yes, the youth are our future. We hear that a lot. But I think that really, I acted as a mentor here and just sort of did what I could within my time frame of availability. It wasn't as much as I wanted, but I do want to say that really my generation really needs to step up to our own responsibility, because truly, while you are the future theoretically, our generation is your future very tangibly and very practically. And it does take hard work. And the most important thing is that we learn how to work together in collaboration, hyper radical collaboration, because we have a mission, and that's to rebalance our planet and our society and our biome and our world that we live in.
Eliza's been a phenomenal mentor that has been working with us from the beginning and has shared her story regarding her work with water and how that's the foundation of life and such a big part of why we're here as humans. So we really appreciate your time, and we've learned so much from all of the mentors we've been listening to, the work that they've done for the past 20, 30, 40, 50 years, and really tried to take all of that and integrate it into the presentations and the work that we've been creating. So we appreciate all of you. So we have a lot of questions in the chat, but I want to keep hearing if people want to share their favorite experiences. Adrienne, I know you've had your hand up for a while.
Yes, I was just watching the chat, and we have a question to the students or to the mentors or to Heidi or to Rebecca. Dana wonders, what was your favorite or most fun moment during the lab?
Let's start with Vikram.
Oh, there's so many. But one of my favorite moments was when Dano, I think, came up with a game uh where like one person does some movements and then the other people on the Zoom call copy them and then you switch to the next person. It's kind of hard to explain. Maybe we need to publish that video.
My God. So Dano goes, we're gonna do a 3 to 5 minute like thing. And he's like, okay, I'm gonna start for a minute. And I'm like, we have 15 people we need to get to. If you do it for a minute, we're never gonna get to everyone. So I'm like, okay, next, 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 next. And everyone just like goes in a circle and copies each other. But it was a lot of fun. So thanks for sharing that. That was a great memory. Okay, who wants to go next? Amy?
Yeah, I haven't thought about this. I'd say when I was in the call with Marina, like it was during our huge like intermission break for lunch, but we decided to stay on the call, like just two of us, and she was sharing like lots of things, but I really appreciated her time and that moment where we truly like connected and communicated with each other and got to know each other. So yeah, that's my one of my fun memories for this
Wait, that's so sweet, Amy. And I recorded those initial calls. They're in my files somewhere. So I would love to share those because it was just us like chatting and having fun and getting to know one another before working together. Maybe someone who hasn't shared Sylvester, do you want to share a favorite moment or your most valuable takeaway?
Yeah, I think I can share my favorite moment. My favorite moment was when I was walking with Jenny, Brendan, and I think Kevin, and we were thinking about how we can implement a good enough solution for campuses and cities. So we're thinking of the plausible ways we can develop a convenient and efficient enough system to address the problems such as those that Brown encountered and how it can be replicated in many other campuses and that how that looks like. So we are looking at other different implementations. We did a bit of research. It was just great to, brainstorm and to try out those solutions. I think it was very valuable for me, I'd say. I think the lessons I learned in those thinking chambers are going to be quite helpful in many other things I'm going to do onwards. So yeah, I think that was definitely my favorite moment in this internship. Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you, Sylvester. And Jenny, do you have like most valuable takeaway or
Yeah,
favorite?
for sure. I think for me, it's just I'm very glad to meet all of you guys and Sylvester. I learned a lot from Sylvester since he's part of the building team. We've been building like different. We've been building the prototype for the interactive page and all the stuff for a long time, and it's just and also like with the content creating group we talk a lot with Amy, and then during the call is a lot of maths but also a lot of fun, and I'm just very glad to meet all the people, and yeah.
Yay. Thank you, Jenny. And then Gavin?
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Marina. I think my most valuable moment is I'd say, being around like a diverse community, both the winterners, both the alumni, the mentors that came in, and really getting to talk to everyone. I think talking to the mayor was a great experience, and it really goes down to show how ideas can flow both ways and all the ways, and how it's really beautiful the art of creation, I'd say, and what the community, I would say, can really help somebody feel empowered. But thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. And as we wrap up into our closing, which will be led by Heidi and Adrian, I just wanted to share that one thing I've learned throughout this experience is that there's really no such thing as failure. All we can do is try our hardest. And if it doesn't go exactly as planned, that's okay. We just move on. As long as we're all living our dream and the life that we want to live and doing what we can now in this present moment to create that shared future. And it starts with each and every single one of you. It's not just the younger generation, it's all of us working together and appreciating and spreading love for the worlds that we live in and to other people. And that's what this past 2 weeks in the Systems Change Lab has been all about, is bringing people together and making connection, even if it's the smallest thing that you can connect about, like your favorite ice cream flavor or an airport that you've been to, even if you've never traveled to the city. There's something that you have in common with somebody else. You just have to ask questions and find that thing. Yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to share with the world. I know that we're closing up in a couple of minutes, so I will let Adrian and Heidi take it out because they've been working on this for forever. So thank you guys.
Thanks, Marina.
Thanks, Marina.
Marina, as the only senior of the lab, has been a huge leader for our team and super welcoming for all of our first years. So thank you for your leadership and your voice, Marina.
Okay, everyone. As we close out this first ever broadcast of Dreamcast, and what that means is the first time we've ever done a global broadcast of our event, a showcase at the end of this program. And we're going to keep doing lots of storytelling about all of these amazing young people doing incredible things, because just watching this can change lives. Am I right?
You're right.
Yes. So we want to thank you all from our hearts. This is truly an intergenerational effort of champions, and you are part of this emergence. So thank you again. And what you just experienced came together through 10 plus years of dreaming, doing, failing forward, and rising again. Personal sacrifice, time, financial sacrifice, all of those things we do when we're going after our dreams. And you are witnessing the culmination of that. And through students, partners, mentors, producers, and visionary young people who continue to show up with imagination, insight, and care.
Yeah, and it's not always easy to hold this kind of hope and enthusiasm, especially in moments of crisis, in systems that don't yet work and futures that feel uncertain. But what inspires me is this: seeing what happens when you put young people, civic leaders, and cross-sector collaborators in the same room and say, let's design something better. And for the past few months since I've been in this role at Dream Tank as the chief of staff, I'm a recent college graduate from CU Boulder, Go Buffs. I've never felt more seen, more empowered to shine my light and to share my gifts. And that fills me with awe. And it gives me courage to rise to my highest potential. And I want to thank every single person who has made this possible. Everyone watching, Heidi, Dream Tank, Rebecca, Mayor Weinberg, the Winterns. I feel supported, and I have really been given the platform to dream and make my dreams come true.
I want to celebrate you here for a moment, Adrian, because I have been having front row seat to see what happens with someone like you, a young person that has so much to offer the world. And you might notice that her title is now Chief of Staff. Her title was Chief of Staff Fellow. We have run pretty much everything over the years through fellowships, just like we're going to do with your cities and communities. And Adrian was a fellow at first, just learning this role. When she asked me, what's the best role to learn everything? I said, Chief of Staff Fellow. I said, let me tell you. And then wasn't it fun when we talked to Mayor Smiley?
Yeah, Mayor Smiley used to be a chief of staff as well.
Yeah. So he was like, there's a pathway for you. But we dropped the fellow about a month ago because she is extraordinary. And this is so much genius and capacity and agency and energy that all of us could be working with and designing the future together. And I want to add a huge thank you to Rebecca Irby for your leadership, vision, and partnership from the very beginning of when we started planning this lab. And I'm so happy we met at this intersectional moment. I want to thank Eleni Anna Sophia, who has been a visionary guide, a grounding force. She is staying here with me and my roommate, and also helps make sure that I eat in this time, since I haven't really been able to do much else but focus on this since December 13th. Thank you to Hubcast International for your commitment to bringing stories of care to the world. Thank you for helping us translate our special story into something the world can experience together live. To all of our city and global partners from Providence, Boulder, Golden, and Nairobi, thank you for opening the door to the youth voice and standing with us in this upcoming pilot. To our mentors, facilitators, and co-creators, you know who you are. Thank you for holding space, guiding youth, and helping prototypes become real. In class of 95, showing up. It was so much fun with my friends, Bill, Brendan, Laura, Charlton, who all were starting to show up, and Ruth, and interact with the students and opening doors. And personally, I want to thank my children, Summer and Cody. They were the first dream tankers before there even was a dream tank, and the original spark behind this work. Your courage, Summer and Cody, and creativity have carried me through every pivot and possibility, and remembering your eyes light up with joy when you created something or when you helped change a law with your beautiful creations. And my parents, Brigitta and Pasquale, who were dreamers coming from Germany and Italy many years ago and are still with us and are watching here today. And to everyone who has ever believed in Dream Tank, contributed to its evolution, or shared your own dream within it, this is yours too.
So, today was just the beginning. What matters most now is momentum. So, here's what we're going to do next. Right now, we're working to activate city labs in 3 pilot cities: Providence, Boulder, and Golden. Next, we'll be launching a new cycle of youth fellows and mentorship pods. And we are working on building out our public Dream Tank portal for youth, educators, and city leaders to get started building systems change anywhere.
And that was written before we had this working prototype and demo that we put in the chat. So the QR code in this broadcast leads you to a landing page where you can start engaging and start to sign up to get started wherever you are. And so on that, you can mentor a youth team, fund a fellow. So many of you asked what the fellows are doing after this. We hope that we can offer paid fellowships to all the students here or any other students that want to work on this. So if you're a student that saw this, sign up on our page and we want to talk to you. And if you're somebody who can sponsor, or you have a corporation, or you have some aspect of resources that we could bring forth to help fund the city prototypes and the fellowships, we would love to hear from you. You can book a call right from that site. You can pilot the model from your city, or just reach out to talk. We've seen again and again what happens when you give young people support. They don't just come up with ideas. They redesign systems. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. This has been such a cool experience for me, for the Dream Tank team, and for everyone else who we were able to bring on board.
Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. It's been such an honor and a pleasure. And we welcome you to watch our ending credits, and then we're going to close out the room. Blessings and peace to everyone who is here, sending so much love into to everyone who is watching and who is able to be with us present here today.